The chain snaps. Metal screams against metal, sparks flying in the white-hot air. Dust explodes upward like a bomb went off. The German Shepherd launches forward, 200 pounds of scarred muscle and rage. Teeth bared, eyes wild, moving faster than anything that size should move. Rena Ashwood doesn't scream. She freezes, feed bucket slipping from her fingers, hitting the dirt with a hollow thud. The dog's paws hammer the ground, each impact sending tremors through the packed earth. Cicadas shriek in the dead trees. Heat shimmers off the arena floor like the whole world's melting. Move! Someone roars from the fence. She doesn't. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. The men behind the wooden fence scramble backward. 5 grown men in wide-brimmed hats, hands reaching for rifles, faces draining white. One curses. Another's hat flies off. The tallest one raises a shotgun, finger on the trigger, barrel tracking the dog's path. Goma, that's what they call him, closes the distance in seconds. 20 feet, 15, 10. Rena sees his eyes. Not rage, pain. The same kind that lives in her chest. The kind that doesn't need words. The kind you carry when nobody sees you even when you're standing right there. Her knees buckle, not from fear, from recognition. She drops, not backward, down, straight to the dirt, palms flat, head lowered. Girl's gone crazy, someone shouts. The shotgun blast doesn't come. The dog doesn't stop. He skids in the dust, claws raking the earth, saliva flying, breath coming in ragged snarls. His shadow swallows her whole. She smells him, sweat, blood, something bitter like old fear. The world holds its breath. Goma stands over her, trembling, massive head tilted, ears twitching. His growl rumbles deep, vibrating through her bones. She doesn't look up, doesn't move, just breathes. You're not bad, she whispers. You're just tired. The growling stops. Behind the fence, someone's radio crackles. A truck engine idles in the distance. The wind dies completely, leaving nothing but the sound of the dog's breathing and hers, syncing up like 2 broken clocks finally matching. Rena lifts her hand, slow, palm open, fingers steady even though her whole body's shaking. The men curse louder. Metal clicks. Someone cocks a rifle. Goma leans forward. His nose touches her fingertips. What would you do if a killer dog stood inches from your face? Goma's breath is hot against her palm. His nose twitches, nostrils flaring, taking in her scent. The men behind the fence are shouting now, overlapping voices, panic rising like floodwater. Rena keeps her hand steady. The dog's eyes lock onto hers. Brown, deep, wounded. Don't move, kid. The voice belongs to Rourke Talden, the ex-soldier with the scar down his jaw. Don't you dare move. She wasn't planning to. Goma shifts his weight, massive paws digging into the dirt on either side of her knees. He's close enough that she can see the scars crisscrossing his muzzle, the notch missing from his left ear, the way his ribs press against his coat like he hasn't eaten right in weeks. Shoot it, Mr. Mullock barks from somewhere behind the fence. His voice is sharp, impatient, before it rips her throat out. But Goma isn't ripping anything. He's trembling. Rena watches his shoulders quiver, watches the way his head dips lower, like he's carrying weight nobody else can see. She knows that feeling. She's been carrying it since the Mullocks took her in, since they smiled at the social worker and then stopped smiling the second the car pulled away. You're scared, she whispers. The dog's ears flick forward. They hurt you. Her voice cracks. Didn't they? Goma exhales hard through his nose. Not a growl, something softer. His eyes close for half a second, just long enough for Rena to see exhaustion buried under all that fury. When they open again, something shifted. The wildness is still there, but it's dimmer now, like a fire someone stopped feeding. A safety clicks off. Loud. Final. I said shoot it, Mr. Mullock repeats, colder this time. Rourke's voice cuts through. Hold your fire. That dog is a weapon. That dog is confused. Rourke's tone doesn't leave room for argument. And if you spook him now, you'll lose the girl and the dog. Silence stretches. Rena's heartbeat thuds in her ears. Goma's breathing slows. He takes one deliberate step closer, closing the last inch of space between them. His massive head lowers until his forehead nearly brushes hers. She doesn't pull back. The dog nudges her hand with his nose. Once, twice, then presses his head into her palm like he's asking for something he's forgotten how to name. Rena's fingers curl gently into the fur behind his ears. "I see you," she breathes. Goma's whole body sags. Behind the fence, someone mutters, "This ain't possible." The dog's ears twitch, not at the voice, at something else. His head snaps toward the tree lean past the arena, muscles coiling tight again. A low rumble starts deep in his chest, but it's not aimed at Rena. It's aimed at whatever's watching from the shadows. What's Goma sensing that the men can't see? Goma's growl builds. Not the wild snarl from before. This one's focused, sharp, aimed at something beyond the fence line. His lips curl back just enough to show teeth, but his body stays pressed close to Rena like he's guarding her instead of threatening her. She follows his gaze. Nothing but scrub brush and skeletal trees, branches clawing at the white sky. But Goma knows something she doesn't. His ears pin flat. His tail doesn't wag. It's low, tense ready. "What is it?" she whispers. The dog doesn't answer. Doesn't need to. Whatever he's sensing, it's enough to make him shift from scared to protective in seconds flat. Behind the fence, the men notice. Rourke scans the tree lean, hand resting on the pistol holstered at his hip. One of the other men, a wiry guy with sunburned arms, leans toward Mr. Malak and mutters something too low for Rena to catch. Mr. Malak's jaw tightens. He doesn't look at the trees. He looks at her. Rena's stomach twists. The way he's staring, it's not concern. It's calculation, like she's a problem that just got bigger. Goma shifts again, placing himself between her and the fence. His shoulder bumps her chest, solid and warm. He's not asking permission. He's claiming her. One of the men whistles low. "I'll be damned. This isn't possible," another mutters. Mrs. Malak steps forward, her smile stretched too wide, too bright. "Well, isn't this something?" Her voice drips honey, but her eyes are cold. "Rena, sweetheart, why don't you come inside now? You must be exhausted." Rena doesn't move. Goma doesn't either. "Come on, dear." Mrs. Malak's smile tightens. The dog needs to be secured. Dog's already secured. Rourke cuts in, voice flat. Looks like he found what he needed. Mr. Malak shoots him a look sharp enough to draw blood. "This is our property, Talden. Our decision." Rourke shrugs. "Your property. Her dog now." The words hang in the air like smoke. Nobody argues. Nobody can. Because Goma's still pressed against Rena's side, still staring down anyone who gets too close, still choosing her over every man with a gun and a grudge. Rena's hand rests on the dog's back. His heartbeat thrums under her palm, steady now, strong. She's never felt anything like it. Never felt chosen. Never felt seen. "How'd you do that?" Rourke asks, quieter now, stepping closer to the fence. Rena doesn't know how to answer. "I didn't do anything." "Exactly." He tilts his head, studying her. "You didn't try to control him. You just let him be." She shrugs. Nobody ever let him be. Rourke's expression shifts, something unreadable crossing his face. Respect, maybe, or suspicion. Hard to tell with a man like him. From the shadows, beyond the trees, something moves. Just a flicker, a shape, gone before Rena can focus on it. But Goma sees it. His growl deepens, rumbling through his chest like distant thunder. Mr. Malak clears his throat, loud and deliberate. "All right, show's over. Everyone inside." He gestures toward the house. "We'll discuss next steps." Mrs. Malak reaches for Rena's arm. "Come along, sweetheart." Goma's growl sharpens into a snarl. Mrs. Malak freezes, hand hovering in midair. Her smile finally cracks. "That animal is dangerous. Only to people who deserve it," Rourke says. Mr. Malak's face goes red. "Get that dog back in his pen. Now." Nobody moves. Goma doesn't budge. Rena doesn't either. Then, from the shadows near the tree lean, a voice. Low, smooth, unfamiliar, drifts across the arena. The girl's a problem. Who's watching from the shadows? And why does Goma recognize their scent? The voice vanishes into the wind. Rena's head snaps toward the trilene, but there's nothing, just heat shimmer and dead branches swaying. Goma's growl doesn't stop. His muscles coil tighter, every inch of him locked onto something invisible to everyone else. Rourke's hand drops to his pistol. His eyes narrow, scanning the brush with the kind of focus that only comes from years of expecting ambush. The other men shift nervously, looking at each other, waiting for someone to make sense of what just happened. Mr. Malak's jaw works like he's chewing glass. Whoever that was, they're trespassing. That's what you're worried about. Rourke's voice is dry as the dirt under their boots. Trespassing. This is private property. This is a threat. Rourke doesn't look away from the trilene, and it's aimed at her. All eyes turn to Rena. She shrinks under the weight of their stares, hand tightening in Goma's fur. The dog presses closer, a living shield between her and the rest of the world. His body radiates heat, tension, readiness. Mrs. Malak laughs. Hi, Brittle. Oh, don't be ridiculous. Who would threaten child? Rourke finally looks at her. You tell me. The silence that follows is sharp enough to cut skin. Mr. Malak clears his throat, smile forced back into place. Everyone's on edge. Understandable. Let's get inside, cool off, figure this out like rational people. Rational, Rourke repeats, tasting the word like it's spoiled. Right? One of the other men, the wiry one with the sunburn, steps forward, gesturing at Goma. What about the dog? Can't just leave him loose. He's not loose, Rena says, voice small but steady. He's with me. The man blinks. Kid, that animal's been trained to kill. Then why isn't he killing? Rourke's question lands like a hammer. Why is he protecting her? Nobody has an answer. Dust swirls across the arena, kicked up by wind that feels too hot, too heavy. The sun beats down merciless, turning everything white at the edges. Rena's throat is dry. Her legs are shaking, but Goma's solid beside her, breathing steady, anchoring her to the ground. Mr. Malak's smile finally drops. He turns to his wife, voice low. Get her inside. Now, Mrs. Malak moves fast, closing the distance between fence and girl in 3 long strides. Her hand reaches for Rena's shoulder. Goma's snarl rips through the air like a chainsaw. Mrs. Malak stumbles backward, face pale, hand clutched to her chest. That thing tried to bite me. He warned you, Rourke says. There's a difference. I'm her guardian. Mrs. Malak's voice climbs higher. I have every right. You've got rights on paper, Rourke interrupts. Dog doesn't care about paper. Mr. Malak steps forward, chest puffed, voice dropping into something dangerous. You need to leave, Talden. I'm hired to be here. Consider yourself unhired. Rourke's smile is cold. You don't have that authority. This is my land. Is it? Rourke tilts his head. Funny. Last I checked, there were some questions about the deed. Something about mineral rights. Signatures that didn't quite match up. Mr. Malak's face goes from red to purple. The other men exchange glances, suddenly very interested in their boots. Rena's pulse kicks up. What's Rourke talking about? What signatures? Before anyone can respond, Goma's ears prick forward again. His body goes rigid. He's staring past the fence now, past the trilene, toward the dirt road that winds up to the ranch house. A black SUV crawls into view. Tinted windows. No plates. Moving slow. Who's that? One of the men asks. Nobody answers. The SUV stops 50 yards out, engine idling. Just sits there, watching. Rourke mutters something under his breath, hand still on his pistol. Mr. Malak's face drains of color. Mrs. Malak takes a step back toward the house, heels clicking on the wooden porch. Rena, Mr. Malak's voice is different now, tight, urgent. Inside, right now. Why, she asks. Because I said so. Goma growls. The SUV's driver's side door opens. A man steps out, tall, broad shoulders, dark suit despite the heat, sunglasses reflecting the brutal sky. He doesn't move toward them, just stands there, arms crossed, facing the arena like he's got all the time in the world. Rourke swears quietly. You gotta be kidding me. You know him? Rena whispers. Unfortunately. Rourke's jaw tightens. That's Syndicate. The man in the suit pulls out a phone, types something, then slides it back into his pocket. Still doesn't move. Still watching. Mr. Moloch turns to Rourke, voice shaking with barely controlled rage. Make sure the girl doesn't talk. Why doesn't Mr. Moloch want Rena to talk? And what does the syndicate want with her? The man in the suit doesn't come closer. He just stands there, arms crossed, face unreadable behind those sunglasses. The SUV idles behind him, black paint shimmering in the heat. Waiting, watching. Rourke mutters something low and sharp, then starts walking, not toward the SUV, but toward Rena. His boots crunch on the gravel, each step deliberate. The other men scatter like startled birds, suddenly very interested in being anywhere else. Mr. Moloch grabs Rourke's arm. Where do you think you're going? Away from you. Rourke shakes him off without looking back. Mrs. Moloch's voice turns sugary again, but there's panic underneath. Rena, sweetheart, let's get you inside. You've had such a long day. She's fine where she is. Rourke stops a few feet from Rena and Goma, eyes still on the distant SUV. Aren't you, kid? Rena nods, not trusting her voice. Goma shifts, putting himself between her and everyone, Mr. Moloch, Mrs. Moloch, even Rourke. His tail stays low, ears pinned back, every muscle coiled tight. He's not growling anymore, but he's ready, waiting for someone to make the wrong move. Mr. Moloch's face twists. That dog is dangerous. It needs to be put down. Try it, Rourke says quietly. See what happens. The air crackles with tension. Nobody moves. Even the wind seems to hold its breath. From the SUV, the man in the suit raises one hand, a small gesture, almost lazy. Then he gets back in the vehicle. The engine revs. Tires crunch on dirt. The SUV turns around, slow and deliberate, then rolls back down the road the way it came. Gone, but not forgotten. Rourke exhales hard. You two need to leave. Mr. Moloch's laugh is sharp, bitter. This is our property. Not for long. Rourke finally turns to face him. They're watching now, and when they watch, people disappear. Mrs. Moloch's face goes white. You don't know what you're talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Rourke's voice drops lower, colder. I know who you bought this land from. I know what you promised. And I know what happens when you don't deliver. Rena's stomach twists. What did the Molochs promise? And to who? Mr. Moloch takes a step closer, voice shaking. You're fired, Talden. Get off my property before I call the sheriff. Call him. Rourke crosses his arms. I'll wait. Nobody calls anyone. The silence stretches long and uncomfortable. Somewhere in the distance, a crow caws, harsh, mocking. Goma's ears twitch, tracking the sound, but he doesn't move from Rena's side. Mrs. Moloch tries one more time, voice trembling now. Rena, please, come inside. We'll make you something to eat. You must be starving. Rena's not hungry. She's scared. But before she can answer, Goma's head snaps toward the house. His growl starts low, building. Everyone freezes. What now? Mr. Moloch hisses. Rourke's hand drops back to his pistol. Someone's inside. That's impossible. We lock. A door slams. Loud, deliberate. From inside the house. Mrs. Moloch stumbles backward, hand over her mouth. Mr. Moloch's face drains of color. The remaining men by the fence exchange panicked looks, hands reaching for rifles they're not sure they want to use. Rourke moves fast, stepping in front of Rena and Goma, pistol drawn but pointed at the ground. Stay behind me. What's happening? Rena whispers. Someone's sending a message. Rourke's voice is tight. And you the message. Another sound from inside the house. Footsteps. Heavy. Slow. Moving through the kitchen, down the hallway, toward the front door. Mr. Moloch's voice cracks. We need to move faster. Now that she's showing signs. Signs of what? Rourke snaps. Nothing. Mrs. Moloch's shriek is desperate. He means nothing, but it's not nothing. Rena can feel it. The weight of something huge pressing down on her. Something she doesn't understand but can't escape. Goma feels it too. His body trembles against hers, not from fear, but from readiness. Like he's waiting for permission to attack. The front door creaks open. Nobody comes out, just the open door, swaying slightly in the breeze. An invitation, or a threat. Rourke swears under his breath. We need to get her out of here. She's not going anywhere, Mr. Moloch says, voice hard now, desperate. She belongs to us. She belongs to herself. Rourke fires back. Not according to the law. Law doesn't matter when you're dead. The words hit like a punch. Mrs. Mullock sways on her feet. Mr. Mullock opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again. No words come out. From the open doorway, a shadow shifts. Someone standing just inside, hidden by darkness, watching them all. Goma's growl becomes a snarl. Rourke raises his pistol. Come out. Slow. The shadow doesn't move. Then from somewhere deep in the house, maybe the basement, maybe farther, a voice calls out. Soft. Familiar. Impossible. Rena. Her blood turns to ice. Because that voice sounds exactly like her father. What's inside the house? And how does it know Rena's name? Rena's legs won't move. That voice, her father's voice, echoes from somewhere deep inside the house. Impossible and real at the same time. Her chest tightens. Goma's snarl turns vicious, teeth fully bared, body coiled like a spring ready to snap. Rourke's pistol stays raised. That's a recording. How do you know? Mrs. Mullock's voice shakes. Because her father's dead. Rourke's jaw clenches. Someone's playing games. The shadow in the doorway shifts again. Still not coming out. Still watching. Mr. Mullock backs toward his wife, face drained of color. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not yet. Shut up, Rourke hisses. But Rena heard it. Not yet. Like they were waiting for something. Planning something. The voice calls again, softer this time. Rena, come home. Her throat closes. Tears burn behind her eyes. She knows it's not real. Can't be real. But hearing his voice, even twisted, even wrong, tears something open inside her she thought had scarred over. Goma nudges her hand hard. Urgent. His eyes lock onto hers. Brown, fierce, steady. He's telling her something without words. Don't listen. Stay here. Stay with me. She takes a breath. Then another. Rourke steps closer, voice low. Where did you learn to do that? Do what? Her voice cracks. Calm him. Rourke gestures at Goma. Nobody's ever gotten close to this dog. Not without losing blood. I didn't do anything special. That's the point. Rourke's eyes narrow. You didn't try to control him. You just... let him be. Rena shrugs. Nobody ever let him be. Something crosses Rourke's face. Respect, maybe. Or guilt. Hard to tell. He glances back at the open door, then at the Mullocks, then at Rena again. His expression hardens. Kid. He crouches down, meeting her eyes. I think you're in trouble. What kind of trouble? Before he can answer, Goma's ears pin back. His growl deepens, eyes fixed on the treeline again. Not the house. The trees. Someone else is watching. Rourke stands fast, pistol sweeping toward the brush. Show yourself. Nothing. Just wind. Just heat. Just the feeling of eyes everywhere. Mr. Mullock's voice rises, desperate now. We need to get inside. All of us. Right now. Nobody's going in that house, Rourke says flatly. Then where? Mrs. Mullock's heels click nervously on the porch. We can't just stand here. A branch snaps in the treeline. Loud, deliberate. Goma lunges forward, pulling against nothing. No chain, no leash, just his own choice to protect. He positions himself between Rena and the sound, every muscle locked, ready to tear apart anything that comes close. Rourke's hand tightens on his pistol. Whoever you are, last chance. Come out or I start shooting. The trees rustle. A figure steps into view, tall, lean, face hidden by a wide-brimmed hat. He raises both hands slowly, showing empty palms. Easy, Talden. The voice is smooth, controlled. I'm not here to fight. Rourke doesn't lower his weapon. Then why are you here? The man tilts his head, hat brim shifting just enough to reveal a sharp jawline. Dark skin, eyes that cut through the heat like glass. I'm here for the girl. Who is this man, and why does everyone suddenly want Rena? The stranger doesn't move closer. He keeps his hands raised, stance relaxed but ready. Goma's snarl doesn't stop. The dog's entire body vibrates with barely contained violence, waiting for permission to attack. Rourke shifts, putting himself between the stranger and Rena. You're trespassing. So are you. The man's voice carries weight, calm, certain, dangerous. Difference is, I have a reason to be here. And what's that? The stranger's eyes flick to Rena. She doesn't belong to them. Mr. Moloch steps forward, face red, voice cracking. She's our legal ward. Papers signed. Court's approved. You have no right. Legal doesn't mean true. The stranger finally lowers his hands, slow and deliberate. Does it, Mr. Moloch? The air goes cold despite the heat. Mrs. Moloch's face drains white. Mr. Moloch's mouth opens and closes like a fish drowning in air. Rena's heart hammers. What does he mean? What papers? Rourke's voice drops. Who are you? Someone who knows what happened to her father. The stranger's eyes don't leave Rena, and her mother, and the land they owned before it was stolen. Stolen. The word hangs in the air like smoke. Mr. Moloch's laugh is sharp, desperate. This is ridiculous. We bought that land fair and square, with forged signatures. The stranger pulls a folded paper from his jacket pocket, holds it up. Wanting to show the sheriff? Or should we discuss this like adults? Mrs. Moloch stumbles backward, hand over her mouth. Mr. Moloch's face twists into something ugly, trapped. Rena's stomach drops. Forged signatures? Her parents' land? Rourke lowers his pistol slightly. What land? 1,800 acres. The stranger's voice is steady, cutting. Rich in rare minerals. Worth about $30 million at current market value. The number slams into Rena like a fist. $30 million. Her parents own that? Why didn't anyone tell her? That's a lie, Mr. Moloch hisses. The land was sold, legally, years ago, to the Korean syndicate. The stranger's smile is cold. Through you, with signatures that didn't match the originals. Signatures written 3 weeks after her parents died in a very convenient car accident. Rena's legs buckle. Goma catches her weight, solid and steady. She grips his fur, breathing hard, world spinning. Car accident. Convenient. No, not an accident. Mrs. Moloch's voice rises shrill. You can't prove any of this. I don't have to. The stranger folds the paper, slides it back into his pocket. The syndicate already knows. Why do you think they sent someone today? The black SUV. The man in the suit. Watching. Mr. Moloch's voice cracks. What do they want? What they were promised. The stranger's eyes harden. The land. Or the girl. Rena's blood turns to ice. Rourke steps closer to her, protective now. She's not going anywhere with you. Or them. I'm not asking her to. The stranger finally moves. Slow steps toward the arena fence. Hands visible, non-threatening. I'm offering her a choice. Stay here with the people who killed her parents. Or fight for what's rightfully hers. Goma's growl softens, confused, like he's trying to decide if this man is friend or enemy. Rena's hands shake. Killed. Her parents. The Molochs. She looks at Mrs. Moloch. The fake smiles, the cold eyes, the way she's always treated Rena like a burden instead of family. Then at Mr. Moloch, sweating, panicking, trapped. You killed them, Rena whispers. Mrs. Moloch's face crumbles. No, sweetheart, we didn't. You stole everything. Rena's voice grows stronger. And you're going to steal me too. Mr. Moloch's expression shifts, cold, calculated, dangerous. You don't understand what you're talking about, girl. You're a child. You don't know how the world works. She knows enough. Rourke's pistol comes back up, aimed directly at Mr. Moloch's chest. And so do I. The stranger watches it all, silent, measuring. Then he speaks again, quieter now. The syndicate will come back. Tonight, maybe tomorrow. And when they do, you'll have to decide who you trust. Why does the syndicate want Rena, and what happens when they return? The office is dark. Rena's hands tremble as she opens the locked drawer, the one with her father's initials carved into the wood. JTA, Jeremiah Tay Ashwood. She remembers tracing those letters as a child, asking him what they meant. He'd smiled, told her they stood for strength. Now they stand for proof. Inside the drawer, maps, reports, contracts, all marked with red ink, all showing land boundaries, mineral deposits, projected values. Her father's signature at the bottom of old documents. And next to them, newer papers with signatures that look close but wrong. The J tilts differently. They loops too wide. Forged. Goma presses against her leg, warm and solid. He followed her inside after Rourke convinced the Molochs to back off. The stranger disappeared into the trees, promising to return. The house feels empty now, but not safe. Never safe. She spreads the papers across the desk. Her hands shake so hard the pages rustle. Here's the truth the Molochs buried. Her father owned massive land stretching from Sunbreak County into the desert hills. Land with deposits of lithium, rare earth elements, materials worth fortunes. The Korean syndicate wanted it, offered millions. Her father refused. 3 weeks later, his car went off a bridge. No witnesses. Police called it an accident. Case closed. 2 months after that, the Molochs, distant relatives barely remembered, showed up with legal documents. Guardianship papers, land transfer agreements, all signed by her parents. Except her parents were already dead. Rena's throat tightens. She traces her father's real signature, then the fake one. The difference is small but clear. Someone practiced. Got close, but not close enough. Behind her, footsteps. She spins. Rourke stands in the doorway, face grim. Find what you needed? They killed them. Her voice breaks. For land. I know. Rourke steps inside, closes the door quietly. I've known for a while. Then why didn't you stop them? Because I had no proof. He gestures at the papers. Until now, Rena's anger flares. You could have told me. You were 9 years old and surrounded by people who'd already killed twice. Rourke's voice is gentle but firm. I couldn't risk them knowing you knew. Goma growls softly, sensing her distress. She buries her fingers in his fur, grounding herself. What happens now, she asks. Now we get you out of here. Rourke moves to the window, checking outside. The syndicate knows you're the real heir. They'll either try to buy you out or eliminate you. Why would they eliminate me? I'm just a kid. You're a kid who owns $30 million worth of land they already paid for once. Rourke's jaw tightens. They're not going to pay twice. The weight of it crashes down on her. She's not just an orphan. She's a target. A door slams upstairs. Heavy footsteps. Moving fast. Rourke's hand drops to his pistol. We need to move. Now. What about the Molochs? What about them? His voice is cold. They made their choice when they signed those papers. More footsteps. Closer. Coming down the stairs. Goma's ears pin back. His body coils tight, ready. He knows what's coming before anyone else does. The office door flies open. Mr. Moloch stands there, face twisted, holding something Rena can't quite see in the dim light. His voice is quiet, deadly. You were never supposed to find those. Behind him, Mrs. Moloch appears, phone in hand. They're on their way. Who? Rourke demands. Mrs. Moloch's smile is broken, desperate. Everyone. Outside, engines rumble. Multiple vehicles. Headlights cut through the darkness, sweeping across the walls. Voices shout. Doors slam. The syndicate didn't wait for tomorrow. They came tonight, and the Molochs just sold Rena out. What will Rourke do now that they're surrounded? Rourke moves fast. He grabs Rena's arm, pulls her toward the back of the office. Goma follows, teeth bared, hackles raised. Mr. Moloch steps into their path, blocking the doorway. Move, Rourke says. No. Mr. Moloch's voice shakes, but holds. She stays. You just signed her death warrant. We signed a deal. Mrs. Moloch's voice comes from somewhere behind him, cold and final. They get the girl. We keep the land. Rena's stomach twists. Keep the land. The land that was never theirs. The land worth millions. Outside, car doors slam. Footsteps crunch on gravel. Men's voices bark orders in a language Rena doesn't recognize. Korean, maybe, or something else. She can't tell through the ringing in her ears. Rourke's grip tightens on her arm. Last chance, Moloch. Get out of the way. Or what? Mr. Moloch's laugh is hollow. You'll shoot me? In front of the girl? Rourke's expression doesn't change. If I have to, the air crackles. Nobody moves. Then Goma does. He lunges, not at Mr. Moloch, but past him toward Mrs. Moloch. She screams, stumbling backward into the hallway. The dog doesn't bite. He herds her, forcing her away from the door, teeth snapping inches from her face. Mr. Moloch spins, distracted. Rourke uses the moment, slams his shoulder into the man's chest, sending him crashing into the wall. Rena bolts through the doorway, Goma right behind her. The hallway stretches long and dark. Front door to the left, back door to the right. Voices shouting outside both. Back door. Rourke barks. They run. Rena's backpack thumps against her spine. Her lungs burn. Goma's claws click rapid fire on the wooden floor, keeping pace, staying close. Behind them, Mr. Malak roars. They're running. The back door looms ahead. Rourke hits it full speed, shoulder first. It crashes open. Night air rushes in, hot, dry, smelling like dust and gasoline. 3 men stand in the backyard. Black suits, cold eyes. The one in front raises a hand. Stop. Rourke's pistol comes up. Back off. The man doesn't move. The girl comes with us. Nobody else needs to get hurt. She's not going anywhere. Then everyone gets hurt. The man's voice is flat, emotionless, like he's ordering coffee instead of threatening lives. Goma snarls, low, vicious, promising violence. The men tense. One reaches inside his jacket. Rourke fires a warning shot into the dirt. The crack echoes across the desert. Next one's not a warning. The men don't flinch. Behind Rena, more footsteps. Mr. and Mrs. Malak stumbling into the hallway. Trapped, front and back. Rena's heart hammers so hard she thinks it might burst. This is it. This is how it ends. Then Goma moves. He doesn't wait for permission. Doesn't hesitate. He charges the men in suits. 90 pounds of muscle and fury and absolute commitment. The first man tries to dodge. Too slow. Goma hits him like a truck, teeth sinking into his arm. The man screams. The other 2 reach for weapons. Rourke fires twice, controlled, precise. Both men drop, clutching legs, writhing. Go! Rourke shouts. Rena runs. Into the desert. Into the darkness. Goma catches up in seconds, blood on his muzzle, eyes wild. They don't stop. Don't look back. Behind them, voices yell. Engines rev. Headlights sweep across the scrub brush. Rourke's voice cuts through the chaos. You lay one hand on her, and I'll bury you on the land you stole. A gunshot answers, then another, then silence. Rena keeps running, tears streaming, lungs screaming. Goma beside her every step. They don't stop until the lights are distant stars and the voices are ghosts. Will Rourke survive, and where can Rena possibly hide now? Dawn breaks slow and red across the desert. Rena sits on a flat rock, back against ancient stone, watching the sky bleed color. Goma lies beside her, head on her lap, breathing steady. His muzzle is clean now. She washed the blood off in a creek an hour ago, hands shaking, throat tight. She hasn't cried yet, doesn't know if she can. Behind them, footsteps crunch on sand. She tenses. Goma's ears prick up, but he doesn't growl. Rourke appears around the rocks, alive, limping, shirt torn and bloody, but moving. Relief floods through her so fast she almost collapses. You're okay, she breathes. Mostly. He lowers himself onto the rock beside her, wincing. You? I don't know. Her voice sounds small, lost. They sit in silence. The sun climbs higher. Heat builds. Somewhere far away, a hawk screams. Finally, Rourke speaks. I can take you somewhere safe. People I trust. Different state. New name. New life. Rena's fingers curl into Goma's fur. The dog shifts, pressing closer. Or, she asks. Rourke's smile is tired but real. Where you stay. Fight for what's yours. Reclaim the land. Make them answer for what they did. I'm just a kid. You're the kid who tamed the most dangerous dog in the county. Rourke's voice is steady, certain. You're the kid who survived a mafia hit squad. You're the kid who figured out the truth when everyone else was lying. She looks at him, really looks, sees the scars, the weariness, the respect in his eyes. If I stay, she says slowly, what happens? War. He doesn't sugarcoat it. Legal battles. Dangerous people. Years of fighting. And if I run, peace. Safety. But someone else gets your land. And your parents' killers walk free. The choice sits heavy in her chest. She's 9 years old. She should be in school, playing with friends, worrying about homework. Instead, she's deciding whether to start a war. Goma lifts his head, eyes meeting hers, brown and fierce and steady. He's choosing to stay, with her, no matter what. She thinks about her father, his smile, his strength, his refusal to sell. She thinks about her mother, her laughter, her warmth, her certainty that Rena could be anything. They died for that land, died standing up to people who thought power meant ownership. Rena takes a breath, then another. The sun climbs higher, painting the desert gold. She stands. Goma stands with her. Rourke watches, waiting. "I'm staying," she says. Voice quiet but iron strong. "And they're all going to remember my name." Rourke's smile widens. "Yeah, they are." In the distance, dust rises from the road. More cars coming. More people who want something from her. But this time, she's ready. This time, she is Goma. She has Rourke. She has the truth. And truth is the most dangerous weapon of all. The war for Sunbury County just began. And nobody's ready for the girl who tamed the beast nobody could break. If you loved Rena's story, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Drop a comment telling us what you think she should do first. And share this story to inspire others who need to know that quiet strength can change everything. Your voice matters. Use it.